Hey there hunters, Lord here, back with yet another Monster Hunter Wilds video. With the release of Monster Hunter Wilds now officially less than 1 month away, boys, I wanted to make a video covering 8 things that I am most excited for when Wilds drops next month. Without much further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into the video. So starting off at number 8, I am excited for the newly announced Wilds decoration system. If you didn't see, the developers did announce in a recent interview that the decoration system in Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be a rework of the system that we saw in World and Iceborne, where in Monster Hunter Wilds, you will no longer be at the mercy of RNG, you will be able to craft the decorations that you need in order to complete your set. For me, this is 100% the way that it should be, as even one of the developers said that he never actually got to finish his Lance set in World because he never got a guard up jewel. Craftable decorations are a much better system, in my opinion, than the craftable charms with random decorations that we did see in World. You can make your build solid by having craftable decos, and then make it better with RNG charms. However, in the vice versa, with craftable charms like we saw in World only having up to 5 levels of one skill, and then decorations being needed to fill up far more than 5 levels of multiple skills, you can really be missing out on a huge chunk of your ideal build at the mercy of randomness, even if you have a maxed out charm that you crafted. Having craftable decorations has led to a much better ability for everyone to create ideal sets once you reach the endgame, and I'm very happy to hear that this system will be returning in Wilds. Moving down to number 7, I am very excited to have a day 1 PC launch of a Monster Hunter game. Now I know, I can already hear the screams, but the beta ran like crap on my PC, how could you possibly want that trash or be excited for it? Okay, so like we've heard many times from the developers, the beta build was diverged from the main game as far back as 2023, meaning that the game has not really been updated for performance or balancing alongside the full release build of Wilds in well over a year at this point. With that much time to continue tweaking the main build of the game, as well as them stating that the game has been fully developed before the first open beta was even released, allowing them time to fully dedicate resources only to optimization, I have full faith that the game will be running absolutely fine. I mean, they've even said that one of the most important things that they've been working on at the end of the development phase before release was to try and make Monster Hunter Wilds accessible on even lower end hardware than they've already specified. Now, of course, we do have to remember that this is their first ever Monster Hunter title with a day 1 PC release, and I'm so stoked, as it means I'm not going to have to buy 2 or 3 copies of the game for the first time in the newer generation of Monster Hunter games. By the way, guys, if you are looking to play the game on PC on day 1, I have an exciting opportunity for you. I've partnered with Fanatical to allow you guys to pre-order Monster Hunter Wilds for Steam at an insane 18% discount by using my link down below in the description and pinned comment. Fanatical works directly with Capcom to get the keys, so they are 100% legit and backed by Capcom. Not only can you get a key directly provided by Capcom at a massive 18% discount to yourself, if you use my link down below, I do receive a % commission from the sale as well, which allows you to both save money on Monster Hunter Wilds and support my channel too. I appreciate you guys' consideration. I'm looking forward to hunting with you guys in Monster Hunter Wilds. Now let's go ahead and jump back into the list at number 6. The next thing that I'm most excited about Monster Hunter Wilds is their new weapon systems. I really enjoyed focus mode aiming in the first open beta test, as the ability to micromanage my attacks made me feel much more efficient and in control. Being able to hit precisely where I want and not accidentally clip a wing and lose some damage when I'm trying to aim for the head, for example, just felt really good overall. Now, I have stated in a previous video that I think it was a bit too forgiving on certain moves, allowing you to readjust a little too much, but all in all, having exact, precise control over your weapon, I feel is a net positive for the game. I also think that the addition of offset attacks and power clashes take the immersion to a whole new level here in Monster Hunter Wilds. Being able to slam my hammer upswing straight into the jaw of an onrushing monster and send them flying back makes me feel something down in my special place that few video games are able to replicate. Also, being able to perfect guard into a power clash with so many different weapons leading to me stabbing the monster in the mouth over and over again until it can't hang, is just so cool. I mean, how does watching this not get you absolutely f***ing psyched for this game? I also really enjoyed each of the 14 weapon types' new moves in the original beta, and I think that the changes that they announced in the pre-launch community update for some of those weaker weapons seem to be good steps in the right direction, giving me a lot of hope for the overall balance. Now, one of my favorite things to do in any Monster Hunter game is, after I've reached a point where I'm starting the end game grind, I try to create a strong set for all 14 weapons, and then I try to get pretty good at each of them. For me, this translates into giving each weapon roughly 10 or more full end game hunts to get a feel for it, and it's genuinely just such a great time. You can learn tons of new openings, different spacings for monster attacks, and so much more. Personally, I feel it makes me way better at the game and understanding the nuances of each weapon, and I'm looking forward to doing it all again in Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, speaking of building endgame sets, for the fifth thing I'm most excited to do in Monster Hunter Wilds is to once again be able to experiment with set building. This is far and above one of my favorite things to do in Monster Hunter, as you can probably tell by my channel having hundreds of set building videos. But something about starting from scratch again and having no real knowledge on what skills fall where in the game, and when you unlock stuff, what armor or decorations you should prioritize at certain points in the game, or what new skills to the game will do and what will synergize with them, and it just makes experimenting with sets in a new Monster Hunter that much more exciting. Now, I'm really excited to dive into Wilds and bring you guys some incredible sets for various weapons and different stages of the game. And if you're just as excited to see new sets for Monster Hunter Wilds, then you should definitely consider subscribing to my channel. This channel is going to be the best place to find amazing sets, in-depth guides and tutorials, speedruns, hidden facts, and much, much more for Monster Hunter Wilds that you didn't even know you needed. And subscribing is the best way to make sure that you stay in the know about all of that information. Subscribing is totally free and supports my channel, and you can of course always change your mind later if you're just not finding the content to be for you. With that being said, let's move on to number 4, which is the open world. Now, I really struggled between this and set building as to which I was more excited for, but ultimately set building is something that I've been doing since Monster Hunter Freedom Unite almost 17 years ago, and a truly seamless open world Monster Hunter has not been done before Wilds, so I went ahead and ranked it at number 4. The weather transitions dictating what monsters and endemic life spawn on the map, the absolute lack of any loading screens even between full-size maps, is just not something that can be overlooked within the scope of this game. If you guys thought Monster Hunter World really changed the series, I think Wild is doing all of that and more. And all of this stuff is being done with a file size that looks to be about half of whatever shit Call of Duty is pumping out these days. I mean, you just have to applaud the Monster Hunter team on this one. I really can't wait to just go out on some expeditions and just hunt whatever appears on my map for hours on end. Wilds is shaping up to be the guiding lance on crack without all of that region level crud bogging down your actual enjoyment, which of course just gets me even more excited for February 28th. Coming in at number 3, I'm very excited for both the new and returning monsters here in Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, of course, guys, no spoilers in the comments. Try to keep it classy here. Let me know down below what currently revealed monster you're most excited to fight when Monster Hunter Wilds releases next month. Personally, I'm kind of stuck between Uth'duna and Arkveld. Now, originally I was most hyped to fight Rei Dao, which I still think is going to become a top 5 all-time monster for me, even after just hunting him a bit in the beta. But, like I said, since I have hunted him a bunch in the beta, I'm looking forward to some hunts that I haven't done yet, namely Uth'duna and Arkveld. Now, with that being said, I really don't think they've missed with any of the monsters they've revealed thus far. I know some people aren't too hot about Yinkatku or Gravios, but honestly, Gravios looks to be a much better fight. Like, it doesn't look like you'll have to break parts in order to actually hit him with melee weapons, and that has me kind of excited that he's been revamped into not sucking as bad or needing a water bowgun to beat like in the older games. And personally, I've always liked Yinkatku. He was kind of my training dummy for testing out new weapons back in Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, so I have a sort of nostalgic soft spot for him. All of the new monsters look amazing. I mean, there are practically no real crap tier monsters in the new monster roster. Think back to World, you have things like Kuliyaku, Great Jagras, Great Gyros. Those were all new, but basically just kind of low-level crap monsters that, outside of the Greatest Jagras quest, were never worth going back to. The only real, quote, low-tier monster that's new in Wilds is Chotacabra, but I think his design is pretty sick and he helps introduce you to the new mechanics of the game like your offset attacks and power clashes, and I don't really see any reason to not be excited for Wilds' monster roster, and I can't wait to farm up materials, weapons, and armors from each and every one of them. Moving quickly into number 2, and I did think about including this in my number 6 point, but I think it deserves its own spot on this list, and that is the ability to carry 2 different weapons into a hunt and swapping between them during the same fight. As a Chargeblade main, there was no question going into Wilds that Chargeblade was going to be my go-to for my first playthrough. However, upon realizing that we were actually going to be able to bring 2 weapons, I really had a tough time kind of choosing what I thought my second weapon would be. Now, after watching all of the weapon showcases and playing through the first open beta, I have decided to run with Gunlance, and dudes, let me tell you, swapping between Chargeblade and Gunlance during a hunt is so fun. I also tried some combinations like Dual Blades and Bow, which was insanely fun, Hunting Horn, and literally anything else, also insanely fun. I even ran a Doshiguma running Insect Glaive swapped into Hammer, and even that was like insanely fun. I really don't think you can go wrong with any weapon combination, and being able to pick different weapons for certain scenarios, even within the same monster hunt, is something I never knew I needed until now. GG's to Capcom, they killed it with this one. And finally, at number 1, the thing I am most excited about in Monster Hunter Wilds is cross-platform hunting. Holy crap, I cannot even begin to overstate how badly we've needed this in Monster Hunter. Like I spoke about earlier, gone are the days of buying a Monster Hunter game on multiple platforms so you can play with each of your friends and say hello to 100-player lobbies, environmental links, and more with whoever wants to join on whatever platform they are on. Except Switch, but it would probably explode trying to run Wild, so we don't really care. Now, I personally love hosting open lobbies so I can get a chance to hunt with you guys in my community, but one thing that is really a downside for me is seeing messages like, hey man, I'd love to join you on this hunt, but I don't have a PC, I'm only on Xbox or PlayStation or what have you. And I am just so excited knowing that that is never going to be an issue again for my open lobbies in Monster Hunter Wilds. It's been very promising how seamlessly it worked in the open beta, and I can't even imagine how nice it's going to be once we can finally actually create private lobbies in the full game. Dude, can it be the end of February already? Just talking about this stuff has me absolutely excited to play Wilds. I hate waiting. I don't know why I made this video. This is just pure torture for myself getting this psyched up and not being able to play. So, what are you guys most excited for in Monster Hunter Wilds? Let me know in the comments down below. Also guys, I'll be hosting some open lobbies during the 2 upcoming open beta test weekends in February. So again, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on the open lobby fun, as well as all of the content that will be dropping here on this channel when Wilds fully releases next month. If you're also as hyped for Wilds as I am, be sure to drop a like down below to help support the video, and be sure to join my Discord for even more Wilds hype. We have tons of hunters in there getting ready for Monster Hunter Wilds, and we'd love to have you join us. Also, remember to use my links at Fanatical down in the description and pinned comment to get 18% off of your Monster Hunter Wilds pre-order. With all that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I wish you all a great day and happy hunting.